Hi everybody, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I'm going to show you my thrift haul, or not thrift necessarily, but yesterday I spent the day in downtown Seattle area and got a couple of things for my witchcraft, and I wanted to share those with you guys. So I'll wait for a couple of people to come on so we can have a little bit of chit chat. Hi, Witchy Susie Q. How are you, honey? Nice to see you. As you can see, I'm really trying to hold my shit together. My kitty is missing. Hey, Debbie. How are you? So good to see you. Thanks, everybody, for being here. So I want to talk about what I got yesterday in Seattle. So what we did was we took a trip to the aunt's house. And we were out there at the aunt's house, and the reason we went out there is because my uncle in Idaho, who makes all these bowls out of juniper and oak and all these different woods that he timbers because his profession, his whole entire life was logging. So now as a retired logger in Idaho, he is making the most beautiful bowls and things. And I have some bowls that I can show you of what he makes, and that's what my mom goes and sells at her little markets and stuff. But I'm always telling her, I'm like, juniper bowls, like, they smell so good. So my uncle said, Jennifer, I have juniper shavings for you. You want them? I said, yeah, absolutely. I want the juniper shavings that you have. Thank you, Bone Whisperer. Thank you. So he says, how much do you want? And I said, all of it. So I have a giant fucking garbage bag of juniper shavings, and I cannot tell you how good this smells. This smells absolutely amazing. I think we got a hole into it so far. Let's see. Where did Peggy drill that hole? Right. This smells so good, and I have about 40 pounds of juniper shavings. I can't tell you how good it smells. What would you do with juniper shavings? Well, you could do loads of things with juniper wood, but it smells amazing. I can't tell you how potently smelly this is. So what am I going to suggest to use it for? Pillows. Make yourself some dream pillows. I've done many videos on juniper in general, but I have a whole entire bag of these shavings. So if you guys want to buy a pound or 2 pounds or whatever to make a juniper pillow, or if you want me to make one for you, I mean, witchcraft aside, this stuff smells so good. And it's got this bright red tinge to it. It's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, I want to roll in those too. If I could just lay those out and just like fling them around and have a bath, that would be amazing. So that was something that was just going to be gone to compost because he makes these wooden bowls. Oils, poppets, stuffed poppets, candles, incense, absolutely. So incense would be so good. You could put that in your mortar and pestle and just grind that up. It's pretty dry. It's just going to kind of dissipate in your stone mortar and pestles, like your molagetes, your you could probably get it ground up pretty well in your marble, in your glass. I don't know about the wood. It might take a little bit longer. You could certainly use your coffee grinder and get that zipped up into a powder. Absolutely. From the Dark Pools here, thank you for the conversation that you had with me, because you really did help me cheer up my spirits. And like Alex said, it has not even been 2 days yet. We know that kitties wander off sometimes, so I just, minus the dream, I wouldn't have been so freaked out, but the dream was very, very powerful. I woke up just like, you know. So what else did I get yesterday? Well, yesterday morning before I went to Seattle, you guys remember that I went on for a video and I talked about how I used my human bone, my human rib bone. Is that cool, Justin? I have a human rib bone. It's my first human bone. And I was talking about it yesterday morning before I went to Seattle. And Whitney messaged me and said, Girl, I want one too. So I was able to hit up the Curiosity Shop yesterday. This one is mine. This is Justin. And cool enough, I got the same human rib bone from the same human. So I call the spirit Justin. Whitney can call it whatever she wants. Or nothing. Or Justin. But I got another rib bone for Whitney. And Whitney, if you want to see your rib bone, it's here. And on the bones, there's little tiny penciled numbers. Mine says 5. I think it was the 5th rib. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Whitney's, I picked out, has a 3 on it. So it's the 3rd rib. And it's from the same human. See there? Just in pencil. What do we use it for? I use it for human spirit communication. Like on that dark moon that we just had, that dark supermoon, I was doing a lot of spirit communication work. And I thought, what better way than to connect with an actual human spirit to ask if my grandparents, they could help my grandparents have communication with me. So I have touch contact with this human spirit right here. So I held this spirit and I said, please help me make communication with my grandparents. You can use human ribs for creation. You can use them, but here's the thing. When you bring this into your home, it's a very powerful energy. You're a human, it's a human. It can either be good or bad. And because this resonates with me, it doesn't mean it resonates with Whitney, but I think that it will. And I feel good about it. But look at the difference between the two. This one is mine. This one is hers. So the placement of the ribs, where they're at in the section of the body, is quite different, you see? In shape. Quite different. But same human. Because I went there just a couple of weeks. I'm 5, she's 3. Where's the 5? There we go. I went there just a couple of weeks after I got it for myself, and they still had the same human. I said, I asked, you know, did you get new bones? Because, you know. But they get their donations from the University of Washington, which is right next to the little shop. Also, while I was out and about yesterday, I got something else witchy. Let's all visualize Otis walking back into her property. Absolutely. Thank you so much, you guys. Looks like a right rib, one a left rib. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Zeal Rain. He has not come home yet. Yes, Otis is gone. What do we use it for? Yeah, so you can use human bones for lots of things, and it depends on the bone, just like anything else. But rib, to me, is protection. Remember, your ribs are only there for one function. What are the function of your ribs, you guys? Why are they there? You tell me, right here in the comments. Tell me why we have ribs. I know you know. On the Cusp Tarot is here. Boop, my boopacorn. Why do we have ribs, you guys? What are they there for? Protection. They are there. Good job, Tracy. They are there only to protect our vital organs. We don't need them. Our spine is enough to suffice us to do every single function. Our ribs are only there to protect our vital organs. So when you use a human rib bone, I feel like it's a stronger form of protection than like a chicken rib bone or a mink rib bone or something like that. Let's hold it up to a mink rib bone really quick. And just see how much bigger we are than these little tiny taters. Here's a mink rib bone and here is a human rib bone. So, if you guys want to get a human rib bone, my Etsy is down in the description, and it just takes me a couple weeks to get it to you because I only purchase them when I know that somebody wants one. They're expensive, so you know. But look, here's a mink rib bone, super tiny. Here's a human rib bone, and I couldn't tell you why, but I always like to just do this and be like, does it fit? No, it doesn't fit. But it's quite cool to me. And they have many other different types of bones, but they have a sternum. You know, this part of your body right below the rib cage, they have a sternum that's on a thing in a jar. They have a human skull. They have, and you know, it's like $1,200. They have, you know, they have lots of human bones, but the only ones that are affordable for me to put on the Etsy really are the rib bones. So if you're interested, in having a human bone, please do let me know and I can get one to you. If you're inside of the United States of America. What are those, hun?
Elderberries for
Holy
you.
potatoes, you guys! Let's look at these elderberries that Alex just brought in. Oh my goodness. Can you put them a little closer?
A whole bunch of elderberries.
Those are beautiful. So what I'm going to do with those, since they're still fresh and they're not dried, I'm going to try and get juice out of them.
Delicious.
They're bitter, but they're delicious. Thank you, hon.
Actually, they're not all that bitter. They're
Not too bitter?
They're. I got 2 different kinds.
Have you eaten one?
Yeah. Have a little bit of a medicinal-y taste, but they're not horrible.
Not as bad. Yeah, okay, so it tastes like plant. It tastes kind of like the outside of a berry shell.
Plant matter taste.
What's that?
Like a plant matter taste. Yeah.
Right. But then it's like not bad. There's no bitter. I thought it would be bitter. It's kind of like a blueberry-ish type of taste.
Sweet.
It's not bitter. It's not sweet. It's just kind of berry-ish. Kind of like a bunk berry, right? Like when you get berries and they're just like, they're okay.
Kind of flavorless.
You had elderberry wine. It's fantastic. I bet. Passion flower seeds. Alexander.
Yeah. Yes,
Do you mean passion? So passion fruit makes a passion flower. So if you're talking about passion flower seeds, it would be passion fruit seeds, right, darling?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can show you some of those. Let me get my act together here. He's always bringing me stuff and I have nowhere to put it, but that's okay. It's better to have stuff than to not, right? Pretty.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I just dropped it. It's all good. This day. They smell really good. Oh. I just love it. Do you have an elderberry bush, darling?
Do I?
Yeah, or did you just pick those out in the woods?
Got it in Seattle.
He picked them just in the middle of Seattle. There's a
Food forest.
food forest. Did you do a video at the food forest today, darling?
No, it was really wet and I was in a hurry.
There's been many days where Alex has done videos at the food forest, but today he wanted to come home and help us find Otis. So anyway, dried elderberries. Do you need them? I've got them. I need to sell these juniper shavings. Like, honestly, what I'm thinking is we get a box that's like a flat rate shipping box. And we just stuff it full. You know, full. And I can get 10 or 12 of those boxes out of this. But to make these big pillows, and I tell you, this smell is so amazing. If you rested your head over this, so good. Yes, lovely incense. So passion flower seeds. So passion flower is what comes from a passion fruit. And I have a really good example. Santa Muerte, I'm going to borrow your offering to show. So here's a cool example of the Do you have a passion fruit? Just a moment.
No.
I have a dried one. I'll show them the dried one.
Sorry.
Hey Alex, do the yellow passion fruits have the same type of vine?
Yeah, this vine out here is the yellow passion fruit.
Okay.
The one that's out here in the living room.
Okay, so talking about passion fruits and passion flower. Now, what you need to understand is that the passion flower, which is this, we've dried them on the vine, and I have so many available if you want some on my Etsy shop. Now, these are, you can add them to teas, and they have a lovely taste. You can add them to workings, and they have a lovely, powerful energy. But as far as the seed goes, the seed doesn't come from the flower, right, Alex? The seed is just in the fruit?
The flower forms, and then the flower, as the flower dies, it turns into the fruit.
So as the
hybrids don't have fruit.
As the flower dies, this will turn into a fruit. And you'll grow a passion fruit. And then it will fall off. And the seeds are inside of the passion fruit. Okay? This is an example of passion fruit shells, which I also sell on my Etsy page listed below. And those do have a listing, my passion fruits. This is a whole one that I've dried to do workings inside. Do you see? I've dried it We ate out the middle and we dried it so it looked like a clamshell. Most of the ones I sell are just cut in half like this. This is a yellow passion fruit, and you can do the working right inside. Okay? Or you can put this right into your bottle of oil. You can break it apart and put it in workings, etc. Now, the passion fruit and the passion flower have different properties, and I can get Scotty's Green Book and read that to you super quick. But here is some dried passion flower on the vine. And I gave this big offering to Santa Muerte. And so the seeds come out of the inside. Okay? And then you just suck all the fruit off of the seeds. And the seeds themselves, that's what Alex just planted in a pot. We bought passion fruit from the store, sucked off the seeds, he started planting them. And it's just absolutely amazing. So thank you for asking that question. And let me get the book to quickly talk about the two. I really apologize if I'm off today. If I'm off today, it's just because I'm really missing the other part of my little heart. So let me get that book and talk about passion fruit. Otis! Odie! Otis! Odie! So we're reading out of Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. Oh, you're welcome, Anissa. No problem, honey. Hey, Lola. I know, sometimes when I cry, it makes other people cry, and I don't want to make anybody else sad, you know, it's just, it makes me feel like sometimes I shouldn't create special bonds, because if they break, I'll get too sad, you know. Passion fruit, passion fruit, passion fruit, elemental P, passion fruit, PA, come on. Okay, so passion flower. So the flower itself, not the fruit, but the flower. Here are the magical benefits. The folk names are Gradelia, Maricock, Maypops, Passion Vine. Okay. Gender is feminine. Planet is Venus. Element is water. The powers are peace, sleep, and friendship. However, I always use passion flower or passion fruit for passion. So I put them in my passion oils. I put them in my passion revival workings. I put them in attraction workings. Things like that. Just because it's not listed in Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs doesn't mean when you hold it in your hand and you feel that certain way about it, or when the name of it has a branding that's like, if it's called the love fruit and the magical intention isn't love, but to you it means love, that's all that matters. So passion flower, passion fruit. The flower dies and falls off of that big old vine, these little flowers, and they look so freaking cool, and I've shown them when they're fresh many times. Alex has pulled those passion flowers, and they just have these purple wires that come out of the, it's just amazing. So when they dry, you can't really see all of that good craziness, but it's still there, and those fall off and they start to form the fruit. Unless it's a hybrid. If it's a hybrid, it will not form a fruit. It will just be a flowering vine. Okay. Tracy, my dog River is your baby. In age went missing a few years ago. I knew in my gut where she was, but I didn't see her there. It took over 24 hours to find her. I know how. Well, I'm glad that you found your love. Otis is missing Ozzy? Alright, so passion fruit isn't in Scotty's book. He just has passion flower. Now let's go to Scotty's red book, Wicca in the Kitchen, and read about passion fruit. Okay. Wicca in the kitchen. So the green book is how to use those things in a magical way for workings, etc. This book is the magic of when you ingest that. So the passion flowers, yes, they are edible. Okay. When you put it into a tea and you put it inside your body, it is a different magical energy than when you put it in a working. So the green book I just showed you is for workings, and the red book is for when it goes into your body. There's a difference. There's a difference. So let me find passion in this book, and we will get going. Passion. Passion. But I mean the difference between these two, and there's so many kinds of passion fruits, but this skin is yellow and doesn't get wrinkly. And then this skin gets so wrinkly, and that's how you know it's good, is when the fruit looks, if the fruit's round and soft like this one and it's not yellow, it's not ready. You need to wait till it gets wrinkly and weird, and that's when the taste is going to be over the top fantastic. Hey Tangerine, how are you, honey? I love you so much. Passion fruit. I think it is, well, I know it's in fruits. Where's fruits? I'll find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, passion fruit. So this book talks about the fruit, and the green book talks about the flower. But remember that you can make lovely teas out of these passion flowers, and they do open up. It's not going to be like one of those flowering teas or anything, but they will open up and kind of show all that goodness that's been dried within them. Look up what a passion flower looks like when it's blossomed. I've shown them in videos. They're amazing. Ozzy's orbs, who is sha-na-na-na-na-na. Now I need to say Ozzy's orbs. Now I gotta figure something out for you, girl. I will light a candle for you. I have a feeling he isn't too far away from home. Yeah, me too. But if he wasn't too far, he'd hear me. So I kind of feel like somebody's picked him up. So Alex is making signs to put around. If I have to live without him, at least I have you guys, you know. Alright, passion fruit. And I've done a video all on passion fruit, and it is called Passion Fruit in Witchcraft and Herbal Alchemy. So if you want to see that, look it up. Planet. Let's do a guessing game. Why not? Is Otis find a mate? He's neutered. And I think his mate is me. I think I'm his... You know, since cats are neutered and they don't have that, like, hormone anymore, I think they just attach to a person. I don't really know. No news yet, Jack. I will let you guys know the minute that we find him, and we will find him. I've got this lovely purple candle lit. It's been burning down for quite some time. Before that, I had another candle lit. I'm not going to stop lighting candles until he comes home, even if it's for the rest of my life. Alright, so let's guess. The planet, the element, it doesn't have masculine, feminine, but we already talked about in the other book, it's a feminine. The passion flower anyway. So what do you guys think for the planet and the element of passion fruit? Let's look at it. And let's take some guesses. Oh, you guys. Thank you so much. It doesn't matter what the color of the candle. Are you guys getting a weird picture? Like with tracers and stuff? Do you see that? Are you seeing that? Why is my camera being like that? So weird. Venus and fire. Let's see what we got. Moon and water. Moon and water. You guys are seeing it too? Why did my camera... I mean, I know my phone's old, but what is going on? It's so weird. You guys are all seeing it. Should we start the video over? What has happened? I think it's because I cried on my phone this morning, like, and I was worried because every tear that dropped made my phone stop working. And then I was like, are my tears that magical? And now my phone's doing weird things. Should we stop or should we keep going? I think it's energy too. Should we just leave it? My aura is glowing. Okay, all I need to know from you guys is if we should leave it or keep going. Or if we should leave it. Okay. So passion fruit, the planet is the moon, the element is water, the energies are love and peace. Okay? Now remember with the passion flower, the love energy wasn't in there. It was just, I lost the page, what we said before. The lore of the passion fruit. This vine is native of Brazil. Christian folklore associates the unusual flowers of this tropical vine with the crucifixion. This is curious since the plant does not grow in biblical lands. The Cajuns, among others, use passion fruit to calm anger and promote friendships. The fruit is about the size of an egg. That's absolutely right. It's almost exactly the size of an egg. It's a smidge bigger. And it is usually purple and wrinkled when ripe. Each fruit produces less than a tablespoon of juice. It's about 2 tablespoons, but hello to everybody who's here. Nice to see you. I have no idea what's going on with my camera visuals, but we're going with it apparently, so good to see you all. Does this happen to anybody else? Have you seen this in other videos? Kind of tripping out about it. Look at that. Can you see that shadow of my hand? I'm sorry. If you have a squirrely mind, it's really hard to not, Just seeing who's here. Hello to everybody who's here. Making sure there's nobody here I don't want to be here. Hey, there's somebody here I don't know. Maybe I do. Batty Skellington. Just finished burning a candle for you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Alright, so along with the information. Yeah, it happened in my Lily video, I remember, because Thomas, you're so sweet. Yeah, I know, it happened in that video too. Maybe my energy with my daughter did it. But have you guys ever seen this in any other video? It's just trippy. Passion fruit is super sour. It is iridescent. See, it's sour, and it goes really well if you add it to yogurt. I love it with like a passion fruit yogurt. And we who are here in Seattle, JR, have you tasted the Elenos yogurt? They have a passion fruit yogurt. It's so good, but my favorite is the lemon yogurt. JR, you got to go to like Central Market or Whole Foods and get the Elenos yogurt. Oh. They have one in Pike Place as well where you can just get it by the scoop. It's like ice cream that's not cold. That's like way better. Art and Tarot by D says, my daughter opened the package from you, from Etsy, with the hagstone I ordered, and she thought the chicken's foot was a hand. That's awesome! She thought it was a chicken hand or like just a mummified hand. They do kind of look like little hands. Look. I probably sent one to you similar like this, right? And it does look like a little hand. Yeah, but these are their feet, and normally this is tilted up, and they're just, I can't do they're on the ground like this, walking around. But we drive them like this, and so I'm always adding chicken's feet into orders for just freebies and special, because I feel like everybody should have one. Whether it's resting upon your neck and drawing attention from other people, you can make a lot of friends with a chicken's foot on your neck. I went out and wore my coyote bone necklace yesterday, and I had 3 strangers on the street, so they only saw me coming up toward them, who stopped me and said, are those real bones? Are those rib bones? I said, yeah, it's coyote rib bones. I make chicken foot back scratchers as well. But having things like this will definitely draw attention from people your way. I gotta get myself focused. So we're talking about passion fruits. The fruit is about the size of an egg, and it's usually purple and wrinkled when ripe. Each fruit produces less than a tablespoon of juice. I've seen them produce a little more. Fresh passion fruits are sold in many markets in the United States. Asian markets. They're not even in Whole Foods. You got to go to Asian markets or exotic fruit markets or Amazon, or you can get them frozen in the Asian markets as well. And I can show you the difference between a frozen peel and a regular peel, and I believe I've done that in many videos, but this is a regular one, of course. It's not frozen. Frozen ones are cut in half. But they're just like, there's not much color left to them. They look really wrinkly. They're more thick. So back to speaking of passion fruit, the magical uses, known as hiliko'ai in Hawaii. Hiliko'ai. And remember, Scotty was so into Hawaii. He fell in love. And remember how old Scotty was when he passed away. So, Scotty was younger than me when he passed away. I believe we read that he was 35 years old when he passed away from all those different cancers and things that were taking him away from this earth. And he did so much. And he wrote so much and did so much for us before he passed away. And that's what I'm trying to do. Because I don't think that my life is going to be super long. And if I don't get my shit going now, I'm not going to be able to, like, make it a life that has helped people. So that's why I'm, like, lighting a fire underneath my ass and trying to get myself, this is all I'm doing, you know. Okay. So, known as Liliko'ai in Hawaii, passion fruit produces an exquisitely tart juice. When diluted and sweetened, the taste becomes rich and mysterious. Add passion fruit to love diets. Fortunately, passion fruit juice is currently a popular flavoring ingredient in mixed tropical punches. Ooh! And some form of passion fruit is readily available. The sweetened juice is also drunk for peace. Thank you, Anissa. I appreciate it. I'm really trying to make a difference. Absolutely. But, you know, when you look at people that we love and adore, like Scott Cunningham, and realize that, you know, he only had a life until 35, and then most of us go, fuck, I'm 25, I'm 30, and it's not saying that we're gonna die at that age. It's just saying, like, if you happen to be a very short time on this planet, how much do you want to give out and produce, and have you done that yet? You know, I really need to get a tissue, but, and have you done that yet, you know? So I was thinking to myself, when I read in that book how young he was, because I didn't realize, I thought that Scotty was like 50 when he passed away. He just looked like an older guy. And when I read that he was so young, it just really wrenched at me. To get my ass going, and not to continue his work, but in a way I am trying to continue his work because I'm trying to spread his writings to everybody and tell you how, like, precious and important that they are. And I hope that everybody has these two books. If you don't have them yet, check out Thrift Books. If I had to pay $1,000 for these books, I would start making payments today. Like, that's how important they are to my magics. And I wish that I could get them in my head and just, like, remembering it, but I do have to refer to my books. Bone Whisperer Hex says, I learned my witchcraft from Scott Cunningham and Raven Grimassi. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I call Scott Cunningham my father of witchcraft. I call Lady Gravedancer or Tequila my mother of witchcraft. And I don't know how old Tequila is. It doesn't matter. She's just the best. And I'm starting to understand why she left. You know, I have 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. I just hit 2,000. I'm so happy. But Tequila has 45 or 47 or, you know, whatever. And I can't imagine trying to communicate with that many people and how hard and hectic that would be. But not hard like you don't want to do it, but hard like you're reaching out to so many people and so many people need help. I know, I really hope Tequila writes a book. Hey Tequila, if you watch this video and you want to write a book together, I'll come to Texas for a year and we'll write a book together. That would be so fun. Because Tequila and I do communicate, and she says that sometimes she tunes into my videos, so I hope that you do get to see this, Tequila, and know that the people here are not mad at you for leaving YouTube. I've watched so many videos. Oh my god. I mean, the hottest topic right now on YouTube is Tequila leaving YouTube. And what's her Facebook name? I think it's Lady Gravedancer, but I don't do Facebook, so I haven't even seen her goodbye video. She put her goodbye video on Facebook, but I heard it was really good, and I completely understand. What I don't understand is anybody who's angry at her for doing so. That actually makes me a little bit off. It's her art and it's her content, and when she chooses to take it down, it was up for 5 years or more. 10 years she was on YouTube doing all kinds of stuff. If you didn't put it in your book of shadows, it's kind of on you, you know. Even the oils that she did that I haven't made yet, I've still written them all down, you know. And I think all of her videos I watched at least 3 times. Like, that was my main drive for starting my own channel. I was just watching every single video she had. But I do promise to do an oleander video soon, because she was the only one who had a decent oleander video up. So I plan on doing that. Now let's talk a little bit more. I miss her too. Yeah, absolutely. Tequila, we all love you and we all understand why you left. I understand why you left. So, human rib bones, right? We got a human rib bone from the haul. What else did we get? I got a $2 bill. $2 bills are fantastic for money workings. I think they're used a lot in hoodoo and folk magic. Some families see these as bad luck. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Some people see these $2 bills as bad luck. But when we ride the ferry, they always give us like $2 bills and 50-cent pieces. If you've never seen a $2 bill, this one's awesome. It looks like they started reprinting them in 2013. The back is, I believe, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. But I keep mine over in my money, like I have a money altar, and I keep them over there. And then I also sell them, but I sell them for $5. So it's like, do you want one? You know, but if you want one, just go to the bank. Don't buy them from me. Just go to the bank and say, do you have $2 bills? If they say no, say, order some for me, and they have to. So if you need $2 bills, you can get them for $2. Go to the bank and ask. But when mine float into my life and come to me, I see that as a blessing. So that was my change back from the ferry yesterday. There was a guy wearing a hat in the courtroom. What are you talking about, honey? Are $2 bills real money? They are, Jez. Jez isn't in the U.S. Jez is over in, shit. Jez, what country are you in, darling? Are you in... Why is it not coming to me right now? You're not in the UK, right? But anyway, they're real money. They were just used a lot in the early 1900s and they kind of faded away. But yes, they're still currency. And same with like the wheatback pennies, and wheatback pennies are definitely used in magic. Pennies before 1982 are made with a copper base. So definitely hang on to those and check all your pennies. But a $2 bill, I said, hey mama, can I have that? I'll give you $2 for it. You know, and she's like, no, you take it. But I will give her the $2 for it. Also, when I was out and about yesterday, I'm getting low on Mod Podge. Okay. Well, shit, I can't start there. Okay, let's start. We're in Seattle, me and Peggy. And she's got a bunch of shit to do, and I got a bunch of shit to do. So, she's got all her business shit on the phone with her iron business and stuff, and she's made so many beautiful mermaid cutouts lately. I have to show you guys when we get over there. Her metal art is so beautiful. So I want to attach some of that to my Etsy page so that we can help support Mom, and that you guys can get custom orders of metal cutouts, like whatever shape you want. If you want it to say your name, if you want it to say, like, she is a really amazing welder. And my dad, that was my dad's business, and she took it over. Hey Jojo Morris, I have to thank you so much for that book, Backwoods Witchcraft. Just you giving me that book connected with me with so many people, and I actually talked to Jake Richards. So the author commented on me reading the book. So Jojo, that's like, thank you so much for that book. It's just another stepping ladder to getting me to where I need to be in my voice heard in life. So, super emotional right now. I'm sorry. So continuing on. Alex! Okay. I have a surprise for Alex that I want to show you guys. And, yeah. Jojo, thank you so much. So you know how we're separating, but we're still very much in love with each other as best friends and all of that, but we have no desire to continue our lives together because our dreams are very different. Even though he's my gardener, you know, that would have been great, but it's fine. So I want to make him a housewarming gift. And he doesn't watch my videos, so it doesn't matter. We're 40 minutes in. I don't think he'll see this. So I'm going to make him a housewarming gift. And what I told him is that somebody ordered as a commission a piece of Kurt Cobain art. And I was supposed to make a piece of Kurt Cobain art. But I wanted to make, and I'm going to make him a housewarming gift, like a piece of art. So I was walking down the street looking for a copy of Seattle Stranger, which is a free magazine. And it next to where I got the human rib. I guess I should just take that out and show you guys. Everybody wants to see a human rib, right? So right after I got my human rib, and this is rib number 3 in the 3rd section, I was looking for a copy of The Stranger because I wanted to send her something from Seattle locally, and that would be cool. But I couldn't find a Stranger in the free newspaper box. All I found instead was all these magazines with Kurt Cobain right on the front, okay? And also on the back of the magazine is the same exact picture. So now I've grabbed 6 of them. Now I have 12 pictures of this, and then on the inside is this. So I've got 6 pictures of this, and then on the inside, there's another picture, which is Alex's very favorite. Unplugged in New York, where he's got that sweater on, you know, that green sweater and everything. If you guys watch the documentary about him in that day and what he went through that day, it's freaking crazy. Kurt Cobain, that was one of his worst days ever. Well, maybe not ever, but he had a really hard day that day. And they almost didn't do it. A few times they almost didn't do the show. He was very sick. He was very dope sick. So I've got 6 copies of this magazine, and I'm going to make some kind of crazy decoupage art for him for his housewarming gift. But I've told him that it's for an order. So he's going to be seeing me make it. I'm going to make it out at my desk in the living room and tell him, what do you think? How does it look? And then at the end of it, when he moves, I'm going to send it to him. And then tell him it was for you the whole time. So that's what I did with that. And again, if anybody wants any Nirvana art, just let me know and I can make you a piece. So while I was getting the human bone at the Curiosity Shop, this human rib bone, which, cool enough, is the same spirit and the same human as the one that I've got, because they got a whole human skeleton that was donated from the University of Washington and took what they could. Okay, so while I was there, because I only had like 20 minutes in the Curiosity Shop, and believe me, I could spend 4 hours and still be looking. Are you staying in the home you live in now, Jen? No. I'm staying here until we move, and when we move, Alex will be going to Texas, and then I'll be going to my mother's loft. She has a loft where I can stay. Okay, bye, Tracy. So nice of you to join us. Thank you, honey. Just what country are you in, did you say? I don't think she said. Okay. So, I said, spirit guides, please show me, I said, and I said it out loud. I said, spirit guides, please show me something in this shop that is going to be desirable for a new art project. You know, I said, spirit guides, lead me to something. I don't have much time. Okay. So, I get my head pointed and I'm walking and I'm looking and I'm feeling. Okay, when I ask my guides to send me somewhere, I don't look and stop. I just feel and stop, if that makes sense. I don't let myself judge it. Because if I let myself judge it, I'll stop just wherever and spend 100 minutes thinking about it. Okay. Does anybody want to guess what I got? I mean, that's a huge spectrum, so let me just tell you. I got 3 vintage magazines, and they had about 200 of this type of magazine, and they're for playing card. They're for oracle decks. What kind of magazine do you guys think I got? Old vintage magazines. I got 3 of them. They were $10 each. I thought that was a completely fair price. I'm going to show them to you, but I can't show you all of them, so I hope that's a good clue. They're from the 1960s. Denmark! Yes, right, Denmark. Jezebel von Text in Denmark. So, what kind of magazines do you guys think I got for playing oracle cards? Fuck yes, I love my dunes. You know it! I got vintage Playboys. So I got 1960s Playboys. And you guys know what? That's cool that her feet are off of the magazine. Look at that! What's going on with my camera? I don't know, but I love it. It's almost like an iridescency. So I got 3. I got this one. This is from... Ooh, do you guys want to guess how much they are? This one's from July 1968. How much do you think it is in US dollars? It's so cool her feet are off of there. How much do you think the Playboys were in 1968 in the US? Joyce Jordan! Hi, darling! And the good news is $3.99? Nope, lower. This is weird, because that one... Okay. 1967. Yes, iridescency. $1.25. $1.25. Hey, Pat! Good topic! We are having problems with the camera, but we're liking it and we're feeling it. All Orby and all. So for my new ideas for vintage, the one-of-a-kind decks that I make, I got 3 vintage Playboys. And I'm telling you guys, the articles are amazing. Debbie, this one is 75 cents. The other ones are $1.25. So this one's a little bit thinner. Maybe it just has to do with how much is in the magazine. But I have to tell you guys, it's nothing like the magazines of today. The pictures in here are just breasts. There's no eagle situations, for lack of a better phrase. Thank you, Mama Wolf. I really appreciate the candle for Otis. But moreover, there are so many good vintage ads in here, and when the color's not off on my video, I want to show you more of these vintage ads. But I do have to tell you that I understand why people say I read them for the articles. In these older ones, there's barely any, like, dirty pictures, and when you do see them, they're only as dirty as the pinups that I do, the pinup cards I do. It's just breasts. And they're very classy compared to today. Now, don't get me wrong, I've not read a loads of pinups from today, or from Playboys from today, but look, you know...
Newspaper?
Hmm?
Do you have a newspaper?
No. Hang on. It's just, there's not a lot of, like, vulgarness. Everything's real. But I'm really into the old ads. Because right now I'm getting ready to make a vintage oracle deck that's just vintage booze. So all these vintage booze ads. And I'm finishing up. I have 3 or 4 vintage food decks that go in little recipe boxes. So cute. But these Playboy ones are going to be really fun because not only will I have the pictures of the girls, which are very few, and I thought there'd be more, but I'll also have the pictures of just tons of stuff going on. I know my picture on my camera's not too good. No eagle pictures. Yeah, I know, Jezebel. I didn't know how else to say the spreading. There's no vajuju in here. But there are just so many pictures that are just like really awesome ads. They're thick paper. They're going to make great decoupage. You could make amazing wallpaper out of this stuff. And just the ads in general are just such cool pictures. Also, do any of you guys like Shel Silverstein? Because I have to tell you something. So anyway, it's really good, and I'm glad that my spirit guides led me to this, because I think I'm going to get a lot out of it. A lot out of it. And I wish I could show you all these pictures. Hey, do any of you know, I think I could show them on Patreon. Because don't people do nudes on Patreon anyway? Maybe I don't have to be nude. Maybe I could just show you other people. No, I don't know. I'll look into it. But so happy, because look, that's a lot. I got all the 3 thickest ones because I was like, I don't care about the titty pictures. I just want, bulk of supply. So they were all $10. Went to the curiosity shop, got that, the human rib, and that was it. On my way out, I got all the Kurt Cobain magazines. On my way home, I got this giant bucket of Mod Podge that's bigger than my head, and normally this is $29.99, almost $30, and I just happened to have a half-price ticket, so I got it for $15. I was so happy about that. This is heavy. That Mod Podge will probably last me 6 months. Yeah, Where the Sidewalk Ends. He also wrote, a few others. What are they called, y'all? Well, I gotta tell you about him anyway. I already sent this message to Tess because her favorite is Shel Silverstein. So out of 200 Playboys from the 60s and 70s, I picked up 3. Shel Silverstein is in 2 of them. Very highlighted. So, here's what I'm saying. I'm going to be looking into his background and see if there's any pedophilia attached to it. And I'm not being funny. What I'm saying is, if you have somebody who's been in Playboy for 10 years or like real close with this community, and then they end up writing children's novels, I don't know. So let me try and find that spot and show ya what I'm talking about. He did a whole drawing. Oh, here we go. Look at this. You guys are gonna die. Are you ready? He wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends, and one about a tree. The Giving Tree. And then he wrote another one that was super classic. What was it called? So he wrote for Playboy. Look, there's his signature, Shel Silverstein. And this is his art in Playboy. You can totally tell it's his, especially that bald guy with the beard. Like, this is totally his type of art. Hey, Nina Soul, how are ya? We're looking at Shel Silverstein art in Playboy in the 60s. So there's this whole, like, story that goes with it, but, the next page is about, and this, it is July of 1968, and it's like, legalized pot type of stuff, and then there's a picture of him with these folks. Do you see him there? I'll tell you what this above it says. It says, Shel blowing recorder joins friends Tony Price on flute and saw Golden Gate Park regular for a musical session. And then on the next page, here's a picture of Shel with a naked lady. We're showing the Shel Silverstein.
I think this closet stays fairly warm, right? It would be a nice, real warm place.
Probably humid. I would think. It's right next. Yeah.
Mame Sapote. It's so small, tiny one.
Right on the outside, Mame Sapote, so that we know what's in there. On a piece of tape. Like, put a piece of tape and write on the tape. So, above this one where he's writing on the naked lady's chest, it says, temporarily abandoning sketchbook and clothes, Shel applies his artistic talents to a hippie body painting party. So they're having a hippie body painting party. And this is him drawing on a lady. That's our classic Shel Silverstein, who wrote all of our children's books. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, that you can't have your job be with children and also have sex. But what I'm saying is that if you put it in the media that you're out there being a playboy and then you also do children's books, it's kind of fucked up. And that's just my thought on it. You know, what do you guys think? Nina Soul says, hello, my beautiful brothers and sisters. And I want you guys to know that's how we refer to each other, you know? Our brothers and our sisters, our beautiful brothers and sisters. So Playboy was on the cutting edge at the time. Yeah. It's just interesting to see somebody who wrote our children's books in that. The Giving Tree, yes. Hey, Alex, do you remember the other Shell book? It was Where the Sidewalk Ends, The Giving Tree, and what else? There was another really popular one.
Yeah.
Do you have your phone? When you get a chance? Thanks. So also in here, and I have to cover up a bit of it, there are amazing Vargas paintings of pinups. Do you see? And so I've also got pinup paintings in these books. You'll see by the signature at the bottom, it's Vargas. And Vargas is the one that, like, one of my very favorite pinup painters. Vargas has a really interesting story. Vincent Vargas would, like many artists and creatives, lock himself in his room or just stay in there for, like, weeks at a time. Usually he'd stay in there for about 3 weeks at a time and let himself out for a week. His wife would bring him food and water and lunch and support everything he did. And it was just so, like, an artist really does need that supportive person. If they don't have that person that brings them food and water and meals, they might end up not eating. And I'm just saying that from personal experience. Did the stream go down? What is it called? He could easily look it up on his phone. Anyway. So yeah, it was interesting to see Shel Silverstein in here. And I thought I'd bring that up. But other than that, I'm going to have lots of good decks, both of nudes and of non-nudes coming from these books. Like I say, the ads in here. And also, there's loads of cartoons. So, you know all those old vintage Playboy cartoons and stuff? I have to cover up the drawing of the breasts. We might make a deck just out of the cartoons, you know? And that would be really funny. So, I have a lot of ideas with these, and I have to say, these old Playboys are good magazines. Yeah, there's some picture of breasts. But, you know, if my husband had those magazines, I would never be upset. Everybody's different. He also wrote, oh, that's the one! Alex, it's called A Light in the Attic. That's the one. It's called A Light in the Attic. He thought I said lazy eyes. A light in the attic, boo. Yeah. It's so funny because we're both hard of hearing. Alex from being in war and having explosives by his ears, and me for attending so many concerts and being like high music in my headphones and all that. So we thought for the longest time we should document what one said and what one heard. Because one time he said something and I thought he said, "Are you ready for sex?" And he said, "I'm zipping up the tent." And I'm like, what? Like, that came out of nowhere. What? But honestly, some of the things that we say to each other and we think we hear and we think we say are just super hilarious. What's up with the Technicolor? Brenda's here. Hi, honey. We don't know. It's only happened one other time when we did the video with Lily, and I asked everybody if I should shut down the video and try again, and they said no. It might just be energy, but look at that. I guess we're going with it. When I was missing Otis this morning, I was crying and loads of tears got on my phone. So maybe it's just magic. I'm not sure. But I went out and I got this rib for Whitney. I'm super excited about it. If you guys need a human rib, you just let me know and put it down in Etsy. Message me there. I want to say thank you because I caught a couple new patrons for my Patreon where I do exclusive working videos. And my new patrons are Michelle Moore, who joined at the butterfly level of $1 a month, and Christina Hoffman, who is living out loud, and she has her own channel. She's a vampire about it, $5 a month. And Jennifer Barlow joined. She's at the butterfly level at $1 a month. And Whitney, who ordered the human rib, started at the butterfly level of $1 a month. And we have 10 different tiers of taxidermy themed levels that you can join at. And you get so many amazing benefits. So please do check that out below. After this video, I'll be doing a Patreon only video because I didn't get to do one yesterday since we were out and about. And I'm looking forward to it. What else did I get when I was outside yesterday? Hey Brenda, I want to show you because you weren't here for the beginning of the video. I got this giant garbage sack. It's one of those like yard waste bags. It's completely full. And guess what's inside? It's from Uncle Ike over in Idaho. Y'all know I'm not a fan of plastic. Yep, it's a kind of wood. What kind of wood do you think it is? It's from Uncle Ike, and where he makes all the bowls, it's shavings. And the smell is to die for. We're going to make pillows out of it. I'm going to sell it by £1 or £2. Shavings for packaging. Shavings for making pillows and packaging, sure. But it's juniper wood. And the smell is indescribable. It's so potent and smelly. Let me show you some. And when we get it off the Technicolor, you can see the actual red in the wood. It's indescribable. All the colors and textures to all that wood is in there. Yes, juniper. Juniper. And this weighs 30 pounds about. Because my arm starts to give at about 35 pounds, and this bag is heavy. So I will be weighing out, you know, if you want to fill up a small shipping box or a medium shipping box of this, get it going on the Etsy. But if you guys need juniper shavings, I'm not kidding. The smell is to die for. Can I describe the smell? Smells like when you're outside in the woods and it's kind of raining and you can really smell the trees. But then it also smells like if you could mix that with a men's cologne that doesn't exist but is like the perfect scent for a man that a woman would probably be attracted to, or a mate or a partner would be attracted to. This scent is like kind of musky and manly and strong and powerful and vibrant, and oh gosh, it's just fantastic. So as soon as I can find a container to put this in, I'm going to try and get it out of the plastic so that the vibrations are appropriate for it. You guys know I keep everything in glass, but this is such a big amount. You guys, I haven't seen Nina's video, but be really careful about getting your ancestry checked, especially, just be really, really careful about who knows what blood type you are. That's all I have to say. Be really careful about, I don't even like to get my blood drawn, you know, hence why I avoid the doctor, but once your Rh negative status is on the books, it's on the books. You know, yeah, just be really careful about that. So, but Nina, I want to watch your video, what people are talking about. Oh, you're finally home, Nina. That's great. I talked to her this morning. She really helped me out when I was super sad about Otis earlier. Nope, Otis is not back yet, you guys. I'll let you know the minute he gets back. But I'm so appreciative for all the candles that are lit. I have a candle going, and it's not gonna, you know, it's gonna burn down. If he's not home yet, I'll start a new one. It'll burn down. I'm not gonna stop burning a candle until my baby gets home. And everything is going to be fine. He'll be back with me, and everything's gonna be real good. Wait, why is it important to hide your blood type? That is a really long story. Does anybody know how to explain that in a short version? to Little Gray Rabbit why you would hide your blood type? Because you don't want to be a targeted individual. Rh negative blood type, we are the awakened folks. You know, we are the teachers. If we are awakened, to teach everybody else how to break out of this shell, break out of this holographic matrix, and see the truth. Now, if you're into CTs, I don't like to say the full word. If somebody wants to type it, it's fine. If you're into CTs and knowing like the bigger story of what's going on, if you have an Rh negative blood type, you could become a targeted individual. So, and why would they want you? Because, and that's where it starts to sound really crazy. I'm not going to go there, but really look into the CT of the blood types and why that might make you a targeted individual. Because we are the clairvoyance, we are the clairaudience, the clairsentience, the clairaudience. Naturally, we are empaths. We are, spiritual healers. And the bigger people in the world don't want us here because we could awaken other people that they're trying to suck energy out of. And that really gets into CTs and really gets like where people are like, whoa, Jen. But if you listen to David Icke, and each video of his is like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever, but it's good to know the truth. And my truth might be different than your truth. But I think that it's good that we're all here together and able to sit together whether that's truth or not, or it makes sense to you or not. There you go. Brenda said it. You don't want to give the government a head count. Right. Again, why I would love to move out into the middle of the woods and not drive a car and not be on, a paper trail track. Nina says, from the dark pool, if possible, change your name up slightly, and if possible, use a different mailing address. Yes. So if you do go to get your blood drawn, I would do what Nina says here, just kind of fudge up a little bit of details so that it might not direct it toward you. But here's the deal, you can get blood tests on Amazon and you don't have to have yourself on the database. You can't get a DNA in an ancestry thing, but I do believe you can figure out that with research. But if you don't have your blood on the database, I would probably try everything you can do to keep it off of it. But again, if we go to doctors and we get our blood drawn and they have any reason to note it down, like a miscarriage, it's on the database. And that's why I'm on the database, is because of miscarriages. And that's how I found out I was Rh negative. Because I've always paired up with positive blood types. And what happens is you'll get pregnant and that's fine. But once the baby develops a blood type, and most of the time the blood type is positive, once the positive blood type develops in me, a negative body, Rh negative, that means that my body does not come from a rhesus monkey, but my partner's body came from a rhesus monkey. So Rh is that rhesus. Okay, so I am Rh negative. He's positive. Seed gets planted, baby starts to grow. As soon as the blood type in the baby is established, which happens around 2 to 3 months, sometimes 4 months, my body sees it as a foreign object and cannibalizes it. And then a miscarriage happens. So that's how, and you're Rh negative, right? So Rh negative is different than AB, B, and A negative, okay? Rh negative, apparently we come from Lemuria. So read some books on ancient Lemuria, and that's where our blood type started to come from, okay? But again, if you are into that topic, I would really try and watch as many videos as you can, read as many books as you can. My friend JR, who's here in the chat, she is giving me a book called, I don't know what it's called, but it's something like the Rh negative blood type diet. How can you feed your body to, So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Absolutely. You went through that with your baby's mom left too. Absolutely, me too. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Think Hitler, y'all, and controlling the race type, same thing. What are you talking about, honey? I missed it. Oh, right. I get what you're saying there. AB positive is actually pretty rare as well. AB positive is the rarest blood type, and there's supposed to be less than 2% on the planet. I don't remember where the AB negative comes from, but I remember that the O negative comes from ancient Lemuria. And you're a positive, AB positive, Anissa Emily. Yeah, so Anissa Emily, you know, your origins are from the rhesus monkey. They have been on this planet for thousands of millions of years, right? But the negative blood type has only been around for less than 6,000 years. How the heck did it get there? How did it get here? So yeah, a lot of people don't understand. We all think we came from monkeys. Not the negatives, just the positives. And then the first question is, okay, if we didn't come from monkeys, where did we come from? Good question. So please do the research. Your mom was AB negative, Joyce Jordan? That's so cool. Just like I say, less than 2% of human population is AB negative. Now, listen to this. My dad's a positive, and my mom's a positive. But I'm a negative. How did that happen? This makes me think that soul is placed in bodies, you know? Like, having sex and intercourse makes the baby, but I think that the soul just kind of floats in, and it has nothing to do with the parents. I honestly believe our souls float in. It has nothing to do with the parents. Yes, our shell may look, you know, I might look just like my mother. That's my physical body. That's just, what you're seeing is just my physical body. If we were to see our souls and our spirits, it's a completely different connection. So if you go, well, I know I come from my mom because I look just like her. This is our physical body. Are we all on the same track? Are we all running good? Is anybody bored or sad? Hey, Nina, thank you for giving folks advice. I super appreciate it, girl. Michelle, Nina Soul, please check your answer. I'm so happy y'all are here. I'm having a good day. Thomas, I don't really remember what blood type I am. I think I'm O positive. Well, then we won't be able to make babies, Thomas, but that's okay. We don't need one. We just need to get Otis home. And you know I'm not trying to be vulgar. I'm sorry. Everyone knows I have a crush on Thomas. It's no big secret. Joyce, you were adopted at birth. That's really special. Especially at birth, you know. Because you never had to do any of the crap that some other kids had to do with. You know what I mean. That's cool, Joyce. Thank you for sharing that. Joyce is out in Oklahoma, and I look forward to visiting her very, very soon, within the next, I would say, 2 years. I think in 2 years we might meet, Joyce. So Joyce says, so when I tell people my mom and dad couldn't have a baby, they get all freaked out. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Adoption's amazing. It's something that Alex wants to do, but I don't want to do. But I'm so glad that there are people out there that want to adopt babies. Anything else to talk about? Let's see. What was I going to tell ya? Do you guys want to see my Rose of Jericho? Do you want to see how Gertrude's doing? Oh, Daddy! Come home, my boo. I fucking miss you, little sucker. So, I have her here. And most of her gifts, remember she was just a little tight little tumbleweed looking ball. I added water on that the dark new moon, the second new moon that happened, that super moon, I guess. Now, this is a citrine point, and where do I get the real color on it? Well, anyway, this is a yellow citrine point, okay, and I put that in there for her. This is a nice clear quartz point. She has many, many copper pennies throughout. Now, copper penny is 1982 or before. I have this blue lung stone here because I give her lots of incense, and I want to make sure she can breathe well. Supermoon. So 2 nights ago when I opened her, I gave her this chip. Okay, this chip, that's Gertrude. You got to keep her full of water and change her water once to twice a day. You cannot let that water sit or she will mold. And again, the water, Gertrude, I'll bring your gift right back. The water turns out the color of a little bit lighter than urine. Okay, a little bit lighter than urine. And this water is excellent for, sorry, I was thinking about Otis. Resurrection. Rose of Jericho is the resurrection, plant or herb. It's a tumbleweed that rolls around. It helps people when it stops. It gets water. It opens up. It helps people with abundance, wishes, etc. And then when it's done, it dries up, it rolls away, and it helps somebody else. It's like your traveling friend that just falls into your life. And that is so true because B. Young, who's here in the chat, sent me my Rose of Jericho. And explain the rituals of it. We open it during the new moon when it's dark to plant seeds, manifest, ask for our wishes, especially for money and abundance, things like that. And then it's open for 2 weeks. We start to dry it up during the full moon. We keep it closed for 2 weeks, and then we open it back up. Now, I haven't opened her up since Texas, so it's been about 3 months. But again, you can save this water every single time. It's this color you're seeing right here isn't the best, but it's like a nice... If you had super clean urine and you had a good diet, would be the color of the Rose of Jericho water. Now, wait, did you find him? No. Fuck. It was just Jack. Okay. So let me tell you about the stone that I put here. I have that giant chunk of black tourmaline. And within the black tourmaline, there's little growths of like... I'm going to ask you guys if you know what the growths are, because I actually don't know. It's just off. It's not usual. So here we go. This big old chunk of black tourmaline that I've got. It's got all these like white crystally growths on them, if you can see that. See this big chunk of white growth on there? And B. Young says it's called matrix, I think, Jen. So since this is a growth to the stone, what I did was, and black tourmaline's cool like that, every time you pick it up, a little bit of it kind of falls off and gives, and what I call those are lettings. I just call anything that falls off of something, I call it a letting. Like, it's given it to you naturally. It's for you. So, when I want one of these pieces of this, and I use them for growth, okay? I use them for growth workings because it's a growth among the stone. I just kind of wiggle on it, and pieces will come off. Otherwise, set it down a little bit hard, or even pull at pieces, and you'll get chunks that come off. Even as I'm talking, let me show you. There's little chunks that are just touching it, makes little things come off. So, I put that inside of the Rose of Jericho for growth. Growth and abundance, and I need to be going through some growth right now. So that's an interesting idea, I suppose. So inside of Gertrude, she's got loads of pennies. When she dries up, she holds onto all of her gifts. And it's so cool to see her dried up because there's all these crystals coming out of the inside, and you can see it. And you can tip her upside down, and all of those little arms hold onto the crystals so tight, you turn her upside down, they're locked in there. It's just so special. can I post the link to the channel bio so I can find you? Are you talking to me, B, or Nina? If that's a better word, lettings. I've been calling them droppings. So droppings is completely appropriate, but it probably reminds people of poop. So yeah, if you want to, Nina, I'd love for you to call them lettings. Same thing, like, okay, for instance, I had somebody that told me, I have had a wand of yours that you made me with, hemp and red jasper and everything, and the red jasper fell out. But on the wand, I had 7 pieces of red jasper. And I said, well, sweetie, that's a letting. And she said, well, what's a letting? It broke. And I said, well, a letting is when the item gives that to you because you need it for something. Like, for instance, if you're walking by and you see an apple tree and there's a big stick on the ground, you grab it for a besom. But I don't want to rip a branch off of the apple tree. I want to grab the lettings below. Again, if you have a necklace that you've worn, it's made by hand, there's no glue because it's all natural materials, and it starts to kind of fall apart after a couple of years, and this little red jasper wiggles its way out of the hemp. That's a letting. You use this red jasper in another working. You use it to keep it in your Reiki healing. You use it for whatever you like. Or you could make something that is like a rattle to activate your wand and your working. You can really do a lot of things with that. If anything ever breaks, don't consider it broken. Just consider it a letting. So yeah, that's a word that I believe that I didn't get that word from any book. It's just the word that I've used. Of course, I'm sure other people use it. I can't call it my word, but yeah, dropping does sound like poop, I guess. Okay, Thomas says it's 11:11 there. Oh, woohoo! Right now here, then it must be up 3:13. Thomas is 8 hours ahead of me. Is that still right? Yes, it's still right. You vape too, Michelle Rose. That's cool. Michelle, aren't you in Washington, did you say? Brenda says I woke up at 3:30 this morning. I went to bed this morning at about 3:45 and I woke up at 4:44 after I'd had that dream about Otis. So I've been up since then. It's been quite the day. Brenda says no, put it in your channel bio. I meant, okay, put what in my channel bio? I'm getting there, Brenda. Can you post the link of your channels in your bio? Oh, yeah, good idea. I will try and do that, Brenda, for sure. I just always put them in the description below for every video, so that's what I've been doing. Michelle Rose is in Oklahoma. Joyce Jordan is also in Oklahoma, and my grandma grew up there. So I've heard it's just a really, really cool place. Lots of fun-loving people. Still kind of like that southern mentality. Storms and natural disasters and twisters, right? My grandma used to always talk about twisters. Where the native Indian red dirt is, baby. Oh, nice. That's fantastic. Michelle Rose, if you ever do send me anything or we do a trade or a barter, I would love some of that red dirt that you've got there. Absolutely. And you're in North Texas, Anissa Emily. That's fantastic. Texas. Weird thing. At 4 a.m., your dog went berserk wanting out. At 4 a.m., Mary's dog at her house climbed up in her head and Jen was having... Yeah, there's so many folks that... Joyce, that would have been... Because you're in a time difference than me, that would have been either an hour before or right at the same time I had the dream. That's so crazy that we're all so connected together. Hey, guess who's here? It's Hal Sear. How are you, hun? I haven't gotten to that oleander video, but I'm definitely going to. And when Alex gets over to Texas, he's going to be sending me a big batch of oleander. Because when I was there, I grabbed some, but for reasons that I don't want to describe right now, I wasn't able to bring it home. So yeah, and Thomas had a lot of dreams last night as well. It's interesting because a lot of us have said before, I don't dream, or I can never remember my dreams, or things like this. I truly believe that this has been helping me with some of my dream recognition. Something good happened to you, Alex? What's up?
We just got tickets for Blink-182 and Lil Wayne.
You and who?
You.
What day is it? I don't want to go.
August 30th. Then I'll find someone to go with.
Okay. Ugh! Do you remember when you used to put tape on your face? To make your face look funny? And then you'd knock on your mom's bedroom door in the middle of the night to, like, say, Mom, I need something. And she'd open the door and you'd see your face all crazy and go, ah! Smile. And we're just coming out of Mercury retrograde. Right! I kind of feel it's like they... Are we out of it now? Are we out of the retrograde? This morning, JR and I were talking about... I told her, you know, I don't always know when the retrogrades start and finish and all of that, but I hear about it on other people's channels and stuff, and not too educated on the astrology. And she said something that I've been feeling for a long time, and she said, I purposely don't learn the retrogrades, etc., because I don't want to have that mindset in my head that, oh, it's retrograde, loads of bad things are going to happen. Whereas if you do see those bad things happening and then you look it up, maybe it's more of an explanation. Right, JR? Halcyon, I've been plotting to do poppet work. Oh boy, if you need poppet work, I have about 40 pounds of these juniper shreds that you can make into a poppet or a dream pillow, or oh my gosh, what else could you do with it? I'm gonna think of some amazing ideas to stuff this juniper with. You could make it to fill, like if you made a chair, you could make it the cushion of a chair. But I wish you could smell this, Hal, because these juniper shavings from my uncle that makes wood carving and stuff like that, I literally have 40 pounds, like a humongous yard waste bag full of juniper wood shavings. And the smell is crazy. So I'm selling it by the pound. You know, you want a pound or 2 pounds or 3 pounds, whatever. I got it for you. You just work with Mercury. Yeah, I'd blame it on change in weather. But if odd dreams are happening in America as well, that's weird. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, Silver Willow. That's not nice. Thank you, Michelle. That's fantastic. Okay, so I want to make sure I talked about everything because the video is titled Witchcraft Haul from Seattle. So I talked about the Kurt Cobain art piece. I talked about the vintage Playboys for the Oracle cards. If you guys missed that, I got 3 1960s vintage Playboys that are awesome, and I'm going to be making Oracle cards and decks out of them. I'm going to get many decks out of these cards. This one looks even cooler in the filming right now. And last but not least, this one, and her feet are hanging off, which looks really cool. No idea how this happened, but it's very cool. Yeah, 17-year-old boy lives in my head. I can't stop him. Got the $2 bill. I got the human rib. I got the Mod Podge. So I think I told you everything I got. What I'd really like to get, though, is my cat back. So thank you so much for all of the people who have lit candles for me and Otis and my family. It's very, very much appreciated. It's immense gratitude. Anything else you guys want to chat about? Because it sounds like I'm on my way off. I hope there's a Playgirl one, too. I can make a Playgirl one, absolutely. But what year did they start making Playgirls? I don't think it was as early, because did you know... Fuck. I was reading in some of those. Did you know people would get arrested for homosexual activity in the 60s? And I knew that it was very frowned upon, but I didn't know that you could get arrested or deported or sterilized for being... I mean... So, that trips me out. You're on the second candle for me. I'm so grateful. I'm on my second candle, or third candle now. I won't stop until he's done. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you so much, Thomas Jen. I'll send some photos for the Playgirl magazine. Thomas, you're so funny. You could get in like your badger coat or your mink coat and just be like, that would be so funny and fantastic. I would love it. No, honestly though, Uncle Badger, you should take one of those like in the US we would call them glamour shots, and it's where you would make like you go to this fancy Photoshop to get your married partner like a picture of you to hang in the bedroom, and it's supposed to be like you in lingerie or something. Uncle Badger, you could do one just in a fur coat. That would be hilarious. I would love that. I think there's a picture in here of a good example of what I would think would be super fun. Please be in here. I looked at these, like, the whole drive yesterday. The cartoons are kind of hard to figure out. I gotta be honest on that. Some of them were head scratchers. My mom had to help me figure out some of them. Like the ones about the milkman. It's pretty funny. Where is it? No, seriously though, I can definitely do a Playgirl. I can do a dinosaur deck. I can do whatever. I can do a cigarette deck. Whatever you guys want. I can make a deck of anything, and it will be an Oracle deck that you are the only one who has it. Completely customized to what you want. So I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm willing. It's all gonna be yes. Be on Glamour Shots. Remember? And I know that you guys probably haven't seen Thomas Dale, but he is a very handsome British man. He's fluffy, which means that he's not crazy skinny and gross. And he's got hair to... You found Zynga? Good. He's got hair to about here. Just kind of like hair. And the best eyes ever. Like the best, most loving eyes ever. And I think it would be amazing if you got a fur coat. Yes, yes. Poison pretty deck. Absolutely. Absolutely. A poison deck would be rock and roll. I've got just all these books that I thrift. I cut out pictures from them. If I don't have the book and the pictures we need, then I just get a book. And, you know, it just is however the price of the book. So if the book costs $15, we just add that on the cost of the Oracle deck. But generally, I have all the supplies, and I don't need to charge an additional. So if anybody is interested in customizing their very own deck that nobody else will ever have, and I've sold... How many have I sold you guys? Like 8 or 10 of them? It's trying to be my new thing. A Baneful Herb deck would kick ass. You're right, it would kick ass in assembly. That would kick ass. Or like a Nightshade deck, or... Yeah, Baneful Herbs and Nightshades. I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. So any of these decks that you guys are interested in, all you need to do is message me on Etsy, which is in the description, and I can give you an estimate. Playgirl was first published in 1971. Brenda is on it! So that means that we just have to get eBay in and find some early Playgirl. If it's still in 1971 and it's not in the 80s, it's gonna be okay. Like, these ones are late 60s. But once you get into the 70s, the early 70s is okay, but when, you know, it starts to get really 80s pretty soon. So I try to stay 75 or 74 and below. Yeah, so I'll be out there looking for stuff. I'm going to let you guys go so I can get to work. I've got a lot of work to do, including finding my baby. So thank you so much. Immense gratitude for all of your love and support. And I don't know what's going on with the video, but look, it's like we've all had some mycology lessons of psilocybin and magic mushrooms. Oh my god, Jen, let me find out you love Jim Carrey. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah, we talked about The Mask this morning, remember? I have the whole entire movie of Dumb and Dumber in my head. I love to watch it. I can recite the whole thing. I'm not going to do it now. I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to do it now. No, we will find him. Everything is good. And if you have any comments, just put them below. Oh my gosh! Nina Soul. The best Jim Carrey movie ever. Have you seen the movie Rubber Face? It was his first movie. I think it was like 1988. And it's hilarious because it's a 45-minute movie, and they never did the ending, but they still put out the movie. So, Rubberface. Raise your hand if you guys have seen Rubberface. There's 25 people in the chat. I want to see if anybody else here has seen Rubberface with Jim Carrey. Late 80s. I rented it as a kid 3 times from like the Blockbuster video. Rented it as a kid, and I couldn't figure it out. And finally my mom was like, movies aren't 45 minutes. No, I'll look for it. Rubberface, writing it down. Write it down and look for it. Katie Ross, you've seen it. Katie Ross, it has no ending, right? It just stops. It's so strange. But it's so good. Jim Carrey was also in a movie called Once Bitten. Nina Soul, have you seen Once Bitten? That's probably his second movie if I had to guess. Raise your guys' hand if you have seen Once Bitten with Jim Carrey. Liar, liar's so good, Joyce Jordan, you're right. Have you guys seen Once Bitten with Jim Carrey? It's a vampire movie from the 80s. Yeah, it just stops. Yeah, so Once Bitten is excellent. It's Jim Carrey, and he's got this annoying girlfriend who's just like super prissy, super preppy. And then this cougar old lady finds him, and he's probably supposed to be like 18 or 20. And this cougar finds him, but she's a vampire. And she glamours him, you know, as vampires do. Do you guys know what vampires really are? Because vampires are real. They're just kind of a metaphor for something else. Thomas? You know what I'm talking about? Remember we talked about the sheath behind the pharaoh's head and what it represents? Everything that is put into cinema, even if it looks so fantastic that you would never believe it, it's real. Every bit of Star Wars is real. The Death Star mimics exactly with that little crater a planet that really exists. Look up that David Icke video where he talks to that guy who's part of a tribe. It's a 4-hour video. It's insane. But anyway, Thomas, Vampire Kiss. Yes, there's Vampirous Kids with Nicolas Cage in as well. That's quite 80s as well. Okay, energy suckers. No. So I'm talking about we're talking about a CT. Okay? And we're talking about a CT with this one and with these types of people. Okay? And vampires are just a metaphor for what these people do in real life. You know what I'm saying? ICKE. David Icke. ICKE. Some people call him Icke. David Icke. And then I've heard there's another gentleman called Alex Collier, but I've never looked into him. That's a lot of people talk about the Alex Collier and stuff. So anyway, start watching some CTs, get yourself informed on what's going on with like the moon energies and, you know, what that really comes from. And yeah, start watching some videos that seem like they're the craziest thing ever, but are actually, it's like Eyes Wide Shut. Like, we showed it to you. We told you. We made 6 movies on Star Wars. Why are you not getting that? Every single character in that is a real thing. Yes, there you go, David Icke. There's Life Force as well. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this video there, and I've got some things to do today. Reptiles are cool. I like reptiles. I especially like snakes. And, you know, snakes have those teeth. They're biters. And so, yeah, the vampires are mimicked after real, actual life forces. I don't know what to call it. Entities. Creatures. Yeah, it's hard to explain without getting this video, you know. So that's why I start to think of other things to say. So I'm sorry if it started to sound weird there, but there we go. I'm actually not sorry. I'm just gonna say goodbye and be done. I know that all your guys' prayers are with me and Alex for finding Otis. I'm so, so grateful. Please don't stop thinking about us. I always think about you guys, and I'm so grateful for everything. Nina, hello everyone. Keep it witchy, and I'll be getting back to everyone once Jen is done. Are you gonna go live? Nina's going live, so let's stop this and let's go live with Nina. Nina, I'm gonna join you at your live stream. We'll see you there. Thomas says the story of Barney the vampire from Victorian period is interesting. It's meant to be the guy that's really taught. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you at Nina Souls. Okay, we'll see you there.